Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm waiting for it to connect. All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Lisa Mehta from Metamorfize.com, practitioner. Every Tuesday to Instagram and to Facebook. Today I'm doing Next Level Manifestors group. And I talk about a different topic. So if you're joining me today, I am going to be talking about perspective shifting. And drop me an icon, let me know you're here, wave at me, depending on what platform you're on. What's up, what's up? I'm going live in the Next Level Manifestors page today because I was missing you guys and I just wanted to be in here. So I see a bunch of people here. Say hi to me. What's up? Give me an icon. What's your perspective shifting icon? I've been saying a lot, the things around us don't change, but how we choose to see them does or can. And that's a lot about a perspective. That's one of the aspects of perspective shifting. It's a tongue twister, say it 10 times fast, that I wanted to get into today. And the other is around learning to see and extract everything as a gift. So that also has to do with perspective because it's about the lens. So I'm just going to wait 1 second for a few people to come on and see if I can see these comments. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm in Oaxaca, Mexico. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow to head over to Puerto Morelos, which is on the coast, getting into the beach. The beach house action is happening. I've been here a month. Oaxaca is amazing. Talk about perspective shifting. I mean, I've left New York and I'm not only seeing, hey Rachel, I'm not only seeing my life from here, my New York life from a different perspective. I'm seeing myself from a different perspective. But let's have one thing clear about perspective shifting. It's a choice. It's definitely a choice on how you want to see something. Because you can get locked in and looping in a negative, or you know what? I'm actually talking about perspective shifting. I'm removing the word negative and I'm going to unproductive when I think about thoughts. Yes, there is negative and positive, but I want to use unproductive thoughts because I think that that's a lot stronger in real. Is that thought productive towards what I'm building in my life? So wait, I lost my train of thought because I went down that one. Because it's a choice, perspective shifting. Oh, I'm seeing my life here. What is all, what hold on. Perspective shifting is about the lens in which you want to bring into your life. So I was saying, number one, nothing changes if nothing changes. Oh yeah, default programming. If you're not careful and if you're not asking yourself like, oh, hey, everybody, thanks for the compliments. If you're not asking yourself like, hold on, wait, is that mine? Like, why am I having that thought? Sometimes you have to really get curious about if you're bringing with you old patterns or someone else's perspective into your life. And I think that, you know, we don't ask ourselves enough, like, is that mine? And actually in the Rise program that I have coming up, the reason why I'm doing perspective shifting today is because the second thing we do, the third thing we do actually is get curious about what lens in which, you know, what goggles do you have on in your life that you're choosing to see the world? Is it, do you want these, you know? So I love the whole nothing changes if nothing changes because that just shows you that you're going to be looking through the same lens and they're going to see the same thing every time. But okay, here's a story about the moment perspective shifting hit me super, super hard. Like, if you know a little bit about my story, I had a lot of obsessive thinking around food and body image. And, you know, I felt like I needed to get some help. But I had a lot of shame around getting help because of actually things that I grew up hearing and seeing around therapy. And I really wasn't sure that I could do it. So there I was about to make the phone call. And it's funny because two parts of me were like, yeah, pick up the phone and make the phone call. And the other was like, no, you don't need it. And I was in this like internal mind battle. I'm from New York, for you who's asking me. Life's Too Short is asking me. I love that. And there I was I had the phone, and I actually think I remember like dialing and hanging up and dialing and hanging up. And it wasn't this kind of phone. I think it was my flip phone at the time. And I remember the moment that I picked up the phone and I said to myself, you don't need therapy. And then I was like, maybe you could be wrong. And in that moment of like almost questioning myself, maybe you could be wrong, I opened the door just enough for me to actually make that phone call and shift the perspective. And of course, like, the therapy wasn't it. It was showing up for myself that made the biggest difference in that. I mean, I definitely learned a lot. She was amazing. We did some really deep cognitive therapy. I did some EMDR, is that what it's called, with the eye thing? And she actually was the one who encouraged me to go to an Overeaters Anonymous group, which, woo, talk about pushing me to my edge. I was like, I don't need that. Like, I had like so many judgments around what that room was going to be like and what me being there meant. And whoa, perspective shift blew my mind open, because what I learned that day changed, is actually why I do so much of this mind mastery work that I do here with you guys. Because what happened is I walked in and I thought that everyone was going to look a certain way, that they were going to be a certain way. And I walked in with a lot of judgments because I had a lens. I had a perspective that was like, this is how I've seen it and this must be how it is. And that rigidity, that white knuckling your own perspective will cause you a lot of suffering, actually, and misconnections in communication. But what happened was, that day, I realized I had more in common with everyone in that room than anyone in my entire life. And it had nothing to do with anyone's shape or size. It had to do with the fact that every single person in that room could understand what my mind was doing every single day when I was waking up and obsessing about the food, the what to eat, the eating it, the binging, the guilt around it, and then the repeat. And each person in that room made me realize that it actually had nothing to do with an external thing. It was about my looks. It was about being seen and appreciated. Oh my God, hi. And that perspective shift, whoa, I think that would be probably one of my biggest ones in my life, that then took me on a journey. Because if everyone in that room looked at me, and if everyone in that room but all of our minds were doing the same thing, then what is it that I had to do was get control of my mind. So mind mastery, the work that this whole everything is based on, hey Mindy, has to do with that. That was one of those pivotal moments in my life where I realized I needed to navigate my mind. It was taking control over me. And that story of going into the Overeaters Anonymous had a lot to do with the fact that I was able to see the same thing differently. So perspective shifting is you allowing yourself to, okay, first of all, you can't change the past. It's happened, but you to see it differently. It can no longer, if maybe something happened and traumatized you, actually go on to let go, to transform the way it is showing up in your life. Holding on to stuff is you holding on to it. You're not punishing anyone else but you. So the past can't change, but the way you can see it. And then the present moment, and the way that you can bring this into your present moment is the fact that I was looking for the tarot cards. I realized I need those. How can you see every single thing that happens in your life as a gift? You know, you have probably heard me, if you've been watching any of my videos at any time, is that I'm always saying, oh, I'm being rerouted to my best case scenario. Because let's say I set out to do something and it doesn't happen as planned, I can get really upset about it, which I used to do in the past, and ruin my own day or week or month or whatever. Or I can up and just be like, oh, okay, I'm being rerouted to my best case scenario, which means there's something, this or something better. And I think actually the affirmation for this week is this or something better. I think so. Wait, let's see, read this quote. Every negative event contains within it the seed of equal or greater benefit. That's the other thing, is like every single thing travels with its counterpart. And the perspective shifting also has to do with realizing and remembering that you always have a choice. So if everything is traveling with its counterpart, you have a choice, you know, how long you want to stay in the sadness versus flip on over to the joy. And again, I always say this, I'm never saying that we should leave an emotion sooner than necessary. Every emotion has a messenger, which is another perspective shifting. You can really step into what is the message that this emotion has. Hey, Brooke. Oh my God, I love all my ladies here with me. Thank you for being here. So yeah. So what if you started to see everything as information? You know, every single thing you're gathering information in your life, you almost detach from it in a way that it doesn't even have a grip on you or a hold on you. So that you are gathering information and you are able to then ask yourself, what are my options here? I mean, that's to me the ultimate place of witnessing. When you pull back out enough where you can really just say, like, nothing's, you know, balance only exists because of its polarities. So if you're just always hovering middle, you're never really toppled over on one side or the other. But what is perspective? Perspective is being able to see it from both sides. And let me get in this Osho deck always talks about it's like this whipped around, it's like this thing, but if you go to the center of the cyclone, the tornado, the eye of the storm, that's where it's calm, and you can get like your best vantage point from there. So basically, if you feel yourself in a situation in your life where you're feeling whipped around, see if you can, first of all, always take a deep breath. I mean, your breath will bring you back to center really fast. But I get it. You know, sometimes it's hard to come back to our breath when things feel really... I had a really bad day yesterday. I posted the picture of me crying. And I did that because I just feel like sometimes, you know, I am up here on these videos sharing perspectives, actually mine. I'm just human. I'm in it with you, and I want to always feel relatable, and for you to know that I feel too. I don't have anything under control or perfect. I am an active participant in my personal growth on a daily basis, asking myself, what healthy choices can I make? How can I be better? I think the key is that, you know, I'm always looking to be better, and I don't even like that. To show up for myself, I think I'm going to go with that. I'm always looking to show up for myself, and I know what that means for me, in making healthy choices, in moving my body, in staying true to my word. You know, I've kind of distilled it down for me in my life that when I'm like when I feel my best, there are certain things that are happening. So, and those are the few. Being here in Mexico has been an amazing perspective shift. And like, I just, even like speaking another language, I was just telling my friend that I started making jokes in Spanish, and I was like, yes, if you could start making jokes in the other language and the locals are getting it, I'm like, yay. Not so gringo. Okay, so I'm going to pick a tarot card with the perspective shifting in mind. Let me just actually, for any of you ladies that are still here, if Mindy, Rachel, Brooke, if you guys are here, you want to drop me a number, I'll pick a number, or whoever's here. I'm going to be picking a tarot card right now, or even on Instagram, there's a bunch of people there too. If you give me a number, let's get a card going here. This is the Osho Zen Tarot deck. I love it. Talk about perspective shifting. These are such simple, amazing, like basic words that have so much power. 8. I see you. Thank you. 8 and 7. All right, we'll pick two today. Great. Paint and wine with Maria. Okay. Yes, please. I am a painter and I like to drink wine. You know what? I probably would paint better because my mind gets in the way. We got 11s. I love it. Hey, Chris, what's up? I would paint better. You know, the hardest part for me, Maria, is the blank canvas. And I'm staring at infinite potential and possibilities, and I have to make a move. And isn't that what it's always all about? Just starting. Don't worry about where it's going to go. Don't trust the process. There's the whole judging of it. I still struggle with that, and I think it keeps me from painting, actually. So thank you for the reminder, and when I get back to New York, I will paint again. All right, here we go. Here we go. We've got 7s, 8, and 11, but we're going to go with 7 and 8 right now. And I got to do a quick reading. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. And we'll go 9, 10, and 11. Okay. The dream was 7. Interesting. 8 is completion. And I did pick the 11. It's laziness. So let's talk about perspective shifting. The dream is actually, I mean, this is a very layered card, but in the sense of what I want to say here around perspective shifting, the dream is when you get stuck inside of this fantasy land, you know, of thinking that everything is going to be like this, you know, dreaming that romance is this perfect thing, and actually giving yourself this perspective lens that you realize that you are unique and that you can define and create the relationships and the life that you want. You know, being here in Mexico was me being like, and relationships for me too, it's like, you know, okay, this is what I do for food when I'm going out to eat and I feel like I don't know what I want to go. I check in first. If you could eat anything in the whole world right now, what would it be? I'm not thinking about the limitations of what is or isn't around me. First, what is it that I want? Check in. What do you truly want? Not what does society want for you or your parents or religion or any dream fantasy land. Once you can tap into what you want, actually your perspective starts shifting, and then maybe you are attracting more of that around you. But you know what? Step 1 is definitely what you want. Step 2 is then taking that action towards it, and that can get scary. If you need some help with that, let me help you. In fact, you could do Rise, the 90-day program coming up, because we're going to pick something and we're going to see it through. Okay, so this is one perspective. Okay, perspective shifting on completion. I mean, one thing ends, a new thing begins. I think I see this as this whole idea of choices, you know, and just also finishing what you start. But then also we have this thing in the 30 days to change. Brooke and Mindy, you'll know about this, but Mindy, you definitely know, but the whole like flexible, committed and flexible. You know, I really think it's important that we always give ourselves permission. It's like permission and perspective. You can change your mind. So, you know what? Here's like, there's one piece left. Finish or not. It's all a matter of how you look at it. Finishing is in your mind. Laziness. 3 cards today. This is cool. Ooh, perspective. I think this has, to me, oh, this is an emotion card. I actually think laziness, well, this is a lot to do with complacency, when you've actually arrived at this completion place and then you decide to not take any more action, and you just start to realize, look, the stuff is cracking around you because you think you've already arrived somewhere. Hey, what up? There is no there. There is no there. But this also, to me, laziness, I think, has to do with mental laziness. Perspective shifting is, you need to actually be an active participant in your thinking. And you need to not be lazy in the sense of, like, it's easy to go to your default program because that's the default. It's been there a while. So I would say, I'm going to say that lazy for today has to do with question everything. Think about what you're thinking about. Look at your world around you differently. Choose to see it different. So we'll end with the same thing we started with, me saying, the things around you may not change, but the way you see them can. So happy manifesting. Any support, I'm available for a free vision call. I have a Rise intro call if you want to talk about if the 90-day program is going to be right for you. It is an amazing self-inquiry journey that we go on. We meet every week on Wednesdays. Zoom trainings, breath work, meditation, shamanic journeys that I take you on so that you can be the creator of your life and you can kick ass out there in the world. All right, everyone. Keep on keeping on. I'll talk to you soon. Lisa, signing off. One love. Bye.